Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Yo, first of all, I'm back, right? Secondly, what the hell just happened? What the hell is going on? I'm on my Instagram, minding my own business as usual, when I see this post by the Shade Room talking about Will Smith getting physical with Chris Rock. Now, here's what's interesting about the Oscars. I was literally driving like through the Hollywood Strip and looking around and driving, because I live in Hollywood, right? So I'm driving around, looking around, and I'm like, man, why are there so many people over here right now? Why is there so many people dressed up all over right now? And I was with a friend of mine, and we were both looking around and wondering, like, what the hell's going on? We had no idea. We had no idea that it was Oscar night. And that there shows you how much relevance the Oscars have lost, right? The people living in Hollywood don't know what the hell is going on, and I'm sure they don't like that coffee.
This coffee smells like shit.
And so you can only imagine, like, my first reaction to watching the whole Chris Rock video of him making the joke and Will Smith walking onto the stage. I thought it was a skit, right? I'm thinking to myself, like, this is a skit. This is funny. He slaps him. And I'm going to play the video for you guys. I know you've seen it hella times. You're like, please don't play it. I'm probably going to play it again. Not the whole thing, just real quick. I thought it was a skit. And then I see Will Smith yelling, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." And I realized, like, oh man, this guy's angry. No, this is serious. And then my conspiracy, my tinfoil hat, my conspiracy mind starts to take over. I'm like, what if they did this on purpose to make the Oscars relevant again? Because literally, like I tell you, the place was flooded with people all through Hollywood. And I get home, and the whole time, me and my friend were driving around Hollywood, we're thinking to ourselves, like, why are there so many people all around? And we just think, oh, okay, whatever. But I start to see why this is very, very real and not some type of a ploy to gain watch time. Basically, I stopped thinking like a conspiracy theorist. Here are my thoughts of Will Smith and what led to all of this. I think somewhere deep inside of Will Smith, he is going through, or was, or still is going through a battle. His image that he's worked so hard to protect has slowly begun to crumble. Right? And that's mainly due to his relationship with Jada. I think the jokes, the videos, all the different opinions about their relationship, about their marriage, finally got to him. He was tired of hearing it. Right? But the problem is this. You made those things public. Will Smith and his wife made a deliberate effort to share what's been going on between themselves in their marriage. They made a deliberate effort to make that public to the masses. And you can't make your relationship public, right? The inner workings of your relationship public like that and expect people to not take jabs at your relationship. You just can't. Not in our generation, not in this time of social media, not in this time of the internet. And besides all that, you especially can't expect comedians to not joke about your situation, because that's what comedians do. It was a joke. It was a joke, Will. Calm down. But most people thought Will Smith was, well, I don't want to say most, because this is kind of like a small poll of people of this poll that was run on the Shade Room. Right? The Shade Room did a poll, and they asked, do y'all think Will Smith was justified for slapping Chris? 54% of the people who entered that poll said he did what he had to do. Basically, they didn't think the Will Smith was wrong. The majority of people who followed the Shade Room, which happened to be women, black women in specific. Women love this shit, man. And the reason why they like this is because This, to a lot of people who don't understand love, who haven't been in healthy relationships, this is how they perceive as the highest level of love. Is like, are you willing to get violent for me at the drop of a hat? And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I think it's anybody who looks at this and says, oh, that's the type of relationship I want, where a comedian makes a joke about an illness that's not deadly, whatever condition she has with their hair, it's not deadly, does not result in physical pain. You get so upset at a comedian who's making fun of other people, and you get up there and you want to get physical with them? Anybody that thinks like, oh yeah, that's the type of love I want. I want a man who's going to protect me like that. You're toxic. To no surprise, of course, the Shade Room majority of people that follow that page are out of their minds. They're all women, right? We know this. But then I thought, you know what? Will Smith is probably going to get on stage and apologize about the situation. And he did apologize to everybody but Chris Rock. Come on, you know Chris didn't like that coffee.
This coffee smells like shit.
Shout out to Starbucks, man. Man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. He gets up on there and starts talking about how he's a fierce protector, figuratively, of his family, and apologizes to the Academy, apologizes to everybody else but Chris. And something about Will that I've always thought to myself is he's a strange individual in the way he's chosen to portray himself to the public, right? If you go look at pictures of Will Smith on his Instagram, or you go look at his TikTok videos, he's always like in this like unrealistically happy mood. And guys, this is going to sound really bad, because no one wants to say that like, hey, you're too happy. No, I mean, it comes off almost a little bit too commercial, right? He's always like smiling in every interview, just always like, you know what I mean? And like, it's a bit too much. Go look on his Instagram. Go look at his videos. Once in a while, people want to know that you are a real person. And I don't mean real person as in like, don't start with the Will Smith is a clone comments on, on my video. That's not what I mean. I just mean like he didn't show like a human relatable side where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just not feeling it today, man, blah, blah, blah. And because you don't show that side of yourself, and you're always so happy, go lucky, nothing bothers me, if I look at his smile in a lot of photos, I always thought like, man, something's going on with Will. And one day we're going to find out. And last night we found out. Eventually the truth comes out. Right? But I always thought it was strange the way he portrays himself to the public. And probably the most disturbing part of that apology is him talking about how he's a vessel, or wants to be a vessel of love. Like, bro, you just slapped a man out of pure anger. And now you're a vessel of love? Come on, bro. Beta move, simp move the whole way. This is what it means to let your emotions take over you. You can work years and years and years, guys, to build a reputation for yourself. But it only takes one moment, one time to destroy that reputation. And I think this is the beginning of Will Smith's downfall. He needs to get real, right? What he shouldn't do right now is try to keep it together, is get back on camera and act like everything's okay, which is the route that I see him going. He posted a photo. This is what's it. Go on his Instagram page and look through his photos, right? The recent photo he posted, unless if it's changed, the last one at least that I saw was him and his wife. And in the comment sections, you see people saying things like, oh man, you shouldn't have done that. I've lost respect for you. And he comments and says, this is after the Oscars, he says, you can't take nobody from Philly anywhere. Some shit like that. With exclamation marks, like kind of like joking it off. And this is not the time to do that, bro. You look real crazy out here, and you need to be real with yourself. There's some deep pain. That anger came from another place, and it needs to be dealt with. You know, it's almost disturbing the amount of people that think that Will Smith was justified in his actions. And I believe it's because the same people who support Will Smith's actions are the same people who want Dave Chappelle canceled for telling the type of jokes that he does. I believe the same women who think the ultimate show of love is the willingness to get violent at a drop of a hat are the same single women who can't keep a man. And the same people who said Chris Rock went too far, these are the same people with the biggest mouths, man, is what you will find out. Kathy Griffin, who is an American comedian, made a very important statement that I feel is worth looking into. She said, "Let me tell you something. It's a very bad practice to walk up on stage and physically assault a comedian. Now we all have to worry about who wants to be the next Will Smith in comedy clubs and theaters." There's a lot of truth in that. And that was shared on the Shade Room, and I think I saw a few people comment and say like, "Oh, Kathy Griffin's not even funny." That's not the point. I'll be honest with you. The joke that Chris Rock told was actually not that funny. I didn't think it was that funny. I honestly believe most people had to go look up who G.I. Jane was, right? I think that's her name, G.I. Jane. Let me make sure I'm G.I. Jane. Yeah. You know, and when I looked her up, I chuckled. It was funny enough for, you know, like a chuckle, but it wasn't like I was slapping my knee and shit. But that's how people who don't have a leg to stand on like to present a rebuttal, right? They make it about emotions instead of looking at this and saying, wait, this could have some serious implications that need to be addressed. I think many people underestimate the gravity of the situation. This could spark a very disturbing trend of comedians having to worry for their safety. And comedians are the epitome representation of free speech. They exercise free speech to a level that reminds us the type of freedom that we have in this country. How will what Will Smith did affect how comedians or just the regular person is able to exercise free speech? We don't know. We'll have to find out. And in a world where the same people who support Will Smith want to say men and women aren't different, it's about love, right? They blanket everything in love. Men and women aren't different. Be careful what you say. These are the same people who, there was a chick at the McDonald's, right? Who, one of the customers at the drive-thru threw like mayonnaise through the window at her and she like shot the lady. Those are the same people who say, well, you know, you just got to be careful how you treat people. Some people are on edge. The same people are like, men and women are no different. So what? So now a man has the right to physically assault you when a woman says something to that man's wife? I mean, where's the line here? Because I'm sure there is a line once you are the victim. Right? In conclusion, and in my opinion, I think this single act has solidified Will Smith as the biggest beta male simp in Hollywood. This is it. He is. Everything we suspected of him, he is. Real men who watch that video know that that was a weak move. It was weak. Not heroic, and it wasn't an act of love. You were emotional and could not control your emotions. Go watch the video again and look at his face, like zoom in on his face and look at the smirk he has on his face when he's walking off. He knew that the person he hit probably wouldn't fight back. Nevertheless, big shout out to Chris Rock for keeping frame throughout that situation. He kept frame, right? It was impressive to see. And he did not act out and react emotionally. Whether you think he should have or not, I think it took a great deal amount of control to keep his composure, right? I can't say all men would have reacted that. We know all men wouldn't have, and I can't say most men would have reacted that way. Anyways, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think of the situation? Listen, I've got more content coming for you guys. I'm back on it. Appreciate you all. Shisha Zed. We'll talk soon, bro. I'm out. Peace.